Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. Washington beat Cleveland 122-93. As always, joined by Raymond Lyons and Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. And again, we're going to get into, like we do after every Wizards game, just break down what happened, get some insight from both Ray and Cardell. But again, we talked about this month, how important it was going to be that Washington finish out the month strong. Done a solid job of that. Ray, go ahead and kick us off tonight. Just what you thought about Washington beating Cleveland on the road.
Yeah, man, it was a strong showing, especially since they recently played the Cavs and it was a tightly contested game, and that was without Colin Sexton. So, it's good for them to kind of come out here and show some dominance, especially over a team that's, sort of chasing them somewhat as the season winds down. Man, low key, the Wizards have some depth. I don't think we ever highlighted that before, but their bench shows up a lot. They had 56 points off the bench tonight. And that was key early because Russ and Bradley Beal they got out the gate slow. But Ish Smith stepped up. Rui, he came out sharp. So they kind of kept them afloat until the third quarter when Washington was able to blow the game open. It started with their defense, limiting the Cavs to one shot, then converting on the other end, also creating turnovers, getting out and getting easy baskets. For the game, the Cavs had 24 turnovers, Wizards only had 12, and the Wizards scored 30 points off those turnovers. To Cleveland only scored 11 points off Washington's 12 turnovers. So again, taking care of the ball, it's a little important. Yeah, man, but it's good to see the Wizards be dominant like this. Even though Colin Sexton and Darius Garland they were up to the challenge. Then of course Jared Allen he did as usual. It was fun to see him and Daniel Gafford go at it again. But yeah, man, just a complete game from the Wiz. They got back to what they do best. They attacked the paint. I think they had 66 points in the paint tonight. And that's pretty much been the recipe for their success. Get to the basket and stay away from the threes. Especially if they're not falling. So and adversely, Cleveland shot a lot of threes tonight and didn't make a lot. So and then the Wizards were able to control the boards as well. They were getting those rebounds and pushing the ball out. So yeah, man, they once they got going downhill, it was a wrap. Cleveland they couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, and the Wiz they capitalized. So yeah, man, it's a good win. They continue to close the month strong. We said they would need to go on a February like run, to get in this playing situation. That's what they're doing, and they're in the driver's seat. And as long as they keep producing like this, then they have their own destiny in their hands. So yeah, man, really good win. Different people contributed. We got a chance for Cassius Winston and Garrison Matthews to get some get some court time. It's always good when the Wizards in position to clear the bench. Anthony Gill got in when at a point where I think Gafford was in a little bit of foul trouble. So they were they were able to utilize their entire bench. So yeah, man, just a good win, man. They're picking up steam, and they're being consistent, and you really can't ask for much more than that. They're taking care of business, and they couldn't have come at a better time for them. Because right after All-Star break, they struggled a little bit, and but they went back to the lab, went back to the drawing board, regained their footing, and now they're in a pretty good position heading down the stretch.
Cardell?
Washington had a great efficient night. They're aware it was a back-to-back. They know they got another game against a playoff team coming in tomorrow. So, they came in here in kill mode, which is what I love. They didn't play with these young boys. I know Sexton and Garland, they gave them a run for their money early, but once the Wizards locked down on defense in the second and third quarter, which is ironic, they did the same thing to the Lakers Wednesday night. They only allowed with 38 points in two quarters in the second and third quarter. that was game right there because the Cavs could not guard them. That's why they had 66 points in the paint. They was getting by those guys at will. You know what I mean? So once they locked in and slowed down Garland and Sexton, the game was over. You know what I mean? And the balanced attack, it was nothing the Cavs could do because it wasn't just one player you can focus on. Even with Bill and Russ not having the most efficient shooting nights, the others stepped up. Like Raymond said, the bench points 56. You got to give Neto some love, man. Neto been hooping. Like he's. I mean, he up here playing it too. He like 6 feet, you know what I mean, and getting it done. 17 points, 5 rebounds, three assists, 2 steals, 6 to 7 from the field, in only 18 minutes. And that's the beautiful part of them just jumping on the Cavs in the second half and beating the hell out of them, getting the game over with. They got rest. Where now tomorrow when they face the Mavs, they should be ready to go instead of being in a dogfight and being tired. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. So. I love that they kind of got to this point at this, as the playoffs approach, man, because for most of the season we were like, yo, kill these teams. You know what I'm saying? Kill these teams that are not that good, that are lottery bound, man. Don't waste time with them. But it ended up being a dog fight, and it was hit or miss as who will win, late in the game. So you got to give them just credit for what they're doing. Washington took care of the ball, straight up. I mean, I know they had 12 turnovers, but a lot of those came when the reserves came in. When the main players, the main rotation, the starters, they didn't turn the ball over like that. You look at Russ. He didn't have the most efficient shooting night, but he still had his usual triple-double and only 3 turnovers, which means he didn't give the Cavs a chance to come back and try to beat them. They was going to have to do it themselves, man. So, Bill, too. And those are the 2 basic primary ball handlers. I mean, my bad, Bill had 1 turnover and Neto had 2. So between your 3 guards, you only had 6. I mean, you can't ask for nothing more than that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's ideal, and that's what we're talking about. So if you're not giving them extra possessions to make up for their lack of efficiency, what can they do? They can't guard you. They're not getting extra possessions to try to make up for them not making shots because your defense is tough. Sounds like to me they just got to take the butt whooping like a man, and that's exactly what happened. And Gil, good minutes. He's worked his way into the rotation. You know what I mean? And when he gets in, he produced. But he's a veteran. I know he's been overseas most of his career. That's where he came from. But when you're a vet, you're a vet. You understand what it takes to be a professional. You understand you got to stay ready. And that's what it was, man. But all in all, this was just we handle business as usual type of win. Get ready for a much tougher opponent tomorrow. They got who I call Larry Legend Jr. coming in here tomorrow, and they in playoff mode. They trying to secure playoff seeding out west, and it's gonna be a dogfight because it seems like Luka's another like DeRozan. Luka's another one of those players. When he see the Wizards, I don't know what it is. he has fun. He has fun, man. You know what I mean? So they gotta be ready, and not just for him. Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off a 42-point game. They hot, like they on one. So it's gonna be a good game tomorrow. So I'm excited to see. But yeah, they just came to Cleveland, handle business, get these young boys up out of there. Let's move on.
Yeah, to me, it was just a great way to end April. They made a move this month in the standings. Still trying to climb higher. And May starts off with a bang, like Cardell, you mentioned. Tomorrow you got the Mavs. After that, you got the Pacers and the Bucks.
Big games.
May has no time to wait. That said, if you handle business in that 3-game stretch, who knows what the standings look like? If you look up and you take care of business in this 3-game stretch, we could be having a very interesting conversation after that. And I'm sorry, right after Bucks, you got the Raptors because it's a back-to-back, but 4 quick games. And almost outside of the Mavs, every one of them is an Eastern Conference opponent.
Big games. Yeah, this is gonna tell a lot because look, they've been playing well, but Chicago and Toronto not going away. They only a couple games back, man. They right there, so that's why they gotta keep winning, man. But the beautiful thing about the Wizards is they can move up. They a game behind the Pacers now, 2 games behind the Charlotte. So look, man, you gotta keep winning, dog. Like I know they playing well, everybody high, but it's not in stone yet. And what is this? This about to be the 64th game tomorrow. Yeah, this race about to be ugly. So 9 games left. We're gonna see what it is.
And honestly, this month, dude, this is all Eastern Conference teams. The rest is after Dallas is Eastern Conference. Like Cardell said, big games.
Like they hot. Wizards hot. They won 9 out of the last 10. They hot as hell, but
Pacers,
yeah.
Hawks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta look at it like this. If I'm one of their opponents, it's a chance I might have to see these dudes. Who I'd rather play. No disrespect. I'd rather play Chicago, Toronto. Than to deal with Brad. I'm just being real. I'd rather get these dudes up out of this. So I ain't gotta deal with Russ and Brad because that's dangerous. That's like that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So I know Brooklyn. They got the firepower, but they not healthy. They haven't gotten a scene. Like they just lost to. I know KD ain't played, but they just lost to Portland. You know what I mean? They ain't came in there, outplayed Kyrie, and the rest of the guys did what they had to do. Man, Philadelphia, we know what Embiid gonna do. But it's just not him. It's the Tobias and all those guys. But it's just the fact that Washington can make things. They can make things more difficult than what you would expect in the first round. First round, you like, let's get these dudes up out of here. That's just an unnecessary headache that you don't want to have to deal with compared to like Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So these teams that they're gonna face, I'll be trying to hand them some L's so they can get out. You ain't got to deal with those guys.
You would ideally, wouldn't you rather have a first round tune-up versus a first round dogfight?
Yeah.
Like even if you do win a 6, it's one of them things. But what did it cost you?
It's like what they say. They put up on the broadcast. They said if Brad Beal finished the season leading the league in scoring, Russ finishes leading the league in assists, this will be the first backcourt to lead the league in both since George Gervin and Johnny Moore back in 1981-82 season. I know someone asked that question. A game or two back, man. So it's been done before. You know what I mean? But they're on track to possibly do it. That's what I'm saying. Like we got the leading scorer in the league and the top assist man who gets triple doubles every day coming in here. They're highly confident. They've been smacking everybody. It's gonna be annoying. So I'd rather not even have to deal with that. Let me deal with Chicago that's limping in here. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what they coming with game to game.
Right. Instead of a veteran-led team, with some tryhards with them. Yeah, I just want to get my first round out the way. Relax, get ready for round 2. I don't want to deal with all that where I'm getting pushed and stressed and banged up and nah, man.
Because if you Brooklyn or Philly, second round, you gotta deal with Milwaukee or the Knicks or somebody like that, man. Like it gets real. So I'm not trying to have a dog fight in the first round. Nah. We work hard to get the number. We work hard to get the top seeds, man. We work hard, man.
You want to get what goes with it, a peace of mind that goes with it for getting it, right? You don't want to get it and be like war. Like, man, I could have just got 3 and not. If I want to start off with a war, could have sat at the 4.
Got some rest. Got some load management games in, man. I'm up here playing all these games, man. I'm getting them boys about it.
All right, that's it. We can go ahead and get into some of these comments. And then
my bad. Real quick. Young boy Jason Tatum, shout out to him.
They walked him down and completed it?
60 points tonight. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 20 of 37 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3, 15 of 17 from the free throw line against the beloved Spurs. Yeah.
And the Spurs were up by 30-something, right? They was up by 30.
He just tied Larry Bird for most points in the game for the franchise. So, man, this is what we were talking about a couple games ago. Like, man, why couldn't they guard DeRozan? You can't guard these top players when they on one, dog. You just got to try to make them inefficient. That's a win. But, man, that's a hell of a performance,
60?
man. 60.
And you said 20 or 37, so he shot 50-something%.
Efficient. 5 of 7 from 3. 15 and 17 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's again reasons you don't want to deal with wars early in the first round, man. Because here's the first comment. So here we go. Because of what happened to Ray last time, I asked who would like to go first. So Ray, would you like the first one, or would you choose to defer?
We gonna receive the kickoff.
All right, cool. This is from Darren Bell. What a statement went on national TV. Bill is a professional scorer. He makes it look so easy. Russ said he doesn't think any player can do what he does best. I 1000% agree. Russ is such a unique player with the strength, quickness, leaping ability, and a never-ending motor. I see him battling Anthony Davis in the post. I saw him battling Anthony Davis in the post a few times. One other guard in the league even tries to guard AD. I think they're coming together fantastic and playing their best ball at the right time. As I said before, Brad and Russ this year, he wanted to emphasize this year, pound for pound, the best backcourt in the league.
Yeah, man, that was a huge win. Over the Lakers. Of course, LeBron didn't play, but still, man, they had AD. There's still a team to contend with out west, and it was definitely a statement win. The Wizards controlled the game the whole way through, and yeah, man, Bill, he just elevated his game to another level. Like, even if you look at last year compared to this year, like he averaged 30 last year or whatever, but it looked a little different this year, man. He's turned into one of those players that you just really just pencil the 30 in if you're the opposing team. And like Cardale said, just try to make it as difficult as you can for him. But nobody can guard him this year. He looks stronger. He looks sharper. He's getting to his spots, utilizing the mid range. Mixing it up, scoring a lot of different ways. So yeah, man, his progression has been wonderful to see. And yeah, Russ, he's a unique talent, man. It's not many people that can do what he do. We talk about the triple doubles and all that, but aside from the stats, just his competitive nature and how he goes after it. Like I saw that a couple times last game as well. He's digging down and guarding Anthony Davis in the post. We talked about it earlier this year when we see Russ taking on those challenges against post players and the other bigs just kind of allowing it to happen. Yeah, man, he's just a dog straight up, and you would love a guy like that on your team. They're definitely coming together at the right time. They're hitting another hot streak at the end of the year when they definitely need it. Like we saw them get themselves into the driver's seat of this playing situation, and that's as far as Brad and Russ being the best backcourt this year. I mean, it's a few people in that conversation, man. Of course, you got the guys in Portland, Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Who else is playing well? Yeah, Russ and Bill, they're in that mix. Can't think off the top of my head anybody else, but I mean, if you want to have that conversation, that's fine. But yeah, they're going down the stretch. They're definitely, playing as well as any backcourt collectively. But looking at the season overall, of course they kind of got out the gate slow. Russ trying to get healthy and all that. But yeah, man, they're playing really well, and you definitely can't take that away from them.
Cardell, did you want to chime in or?
Yeah, they're playing well. I know you said name another guard that would battle AD in the post. Drew Holiday, Patrick Beverly, and as far as playing, the best backcourt in the league this year as far as they play, I can't say that because you pretty much like a half a year where Russ was still trying to recuperate, so you can't knock that. James Harden and Kyrie, I felt when they were same boat, kind of, but when they were together, it was lethal. It was hell, and they was piling up wins. And like with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, I feel like those two backcourts got the edge over Russ and Bill. It's just that they're hot now. You know what I mean? So, and you can't knock it. Those other two backcourts been piling up wins throughout the season, and that's with a lot of injuries, a lot of turnover and stuff like that. But regardless, Brad and Russ definitely, up there for sure. And that's why the Wizards are being successful. They're leading the way.
All right, Cardell's, this one's for you from Spencer Mumford. I really don't like how people always compliment Russ with a subtle jab. People always include his sporadic play, poor decision-making, and ability to shoot. It's okay to just shower him with compliments when he deserves it without bringing up the negative. It's not just you guys, though. Everyone does it. LOL, just an observation I've made.
I mean, yeah, if we lived in Peter Pan's world, we was in Disney and stuff like that, where we just always seen Kumbaya and just put the positive out there and all that. Yeah, I mean, we could, but those are parts of him that you gotta touch on when they show themselves in games, and especially when it results in losses. We can't just ignore it because you don't want to, see, you don't want to hear those things. Because I think you're a Russ fan. I get it, but we gotta call it like it is. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, what's the point? We gotta kind of get over uh, this mentality where everything is supposed to be always positive. Everything isn't always positive. You know what I mean? Once again, we need to get a graphic like how they got it on First Take about LeBron. He's a great father and philanthropist and all that. We got to start getting one of them like that about Russ, man, because these people, it's crazy. Like we said, he's an amazing player, great all-around player, first ballot. No question. It's going to be first ballot. As soon as he's able to get in, he's getting in the Hall of Fame. No question. Mm-hmm. And he's going to walk down. He's going to probably break Big O's record by the end of the season. You know what I mean? So, and that's a hell of an accomplishment. Big O is Big O. But at the same time, yeah, the sporadic play, the poor decision making, inability to shoot, that has to be mentioned when it affects the team's ability to win. Because he's the lead guard, he has the ball in his hands, and because, like we just said, he's damn good, so he could play better. It's as simple as that, man.
Ray, did you want to get in?
I just find it really weird how the person listed, all they just listed three things that rear their ugly heads when Russ's game has negatively impacted the team's, outcome, and called it a jab. No, those are things that happen. Like, I don't understand why you would want us to come on here and not talk about the game as it happened and only talk about one specific part of it. If he have a 30-point triple-double with 10 turnovers and they lose, you want us to just come on here and say he had a 30-point triple-double? No, man. Like, you gotta talk about everything. Like, it's okay to just shower him with compliments when he deserves it. Yeah, we do that. Like we said it last game. I mean, he had a really clean game and Wizards dominated. What more do you want? We do shower him with compliments when he deserves it. But we also have to talk about the negative when it happens as well. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you take a test and you get 50%, that means you got half the questions right. You think the teacher only going to talk about the questions you got right and not even address the ones you got wrong? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And the other thing I would just say, anybody's critique, I would happily challenge that it's not a subtle jab. It's just simply did something wrong. We mentioned it. There's no need to jab anybody. And again, you don't hear us wasting time talking about the different stuff limited people on the roster can't do because it's not worth the time. Expect a lot out of a freaking Hall of Fame player. And again, the same things that we talk about. I challenge you, if you asked for us, he would literally offer you some semblance of or variation of the type of response that we've offered or critique as well. But hey, all right, on to Tycho. I have no complaints. Wow, y'all did a great job and was objective today. Interesting. That was a great win. Hutchinson needs more minutes. He's a potential lockdown. And I watched the full game, so don't assume we only see box scores. When we stay up late to comment on your show, Cardell, chill.
Nah, I ain't gonna chill. Y'all damn sure watch the box score. We're always objective. Now we objective because we ain't say nothing negative in their eyes Wednesday. Y'all, look, man, y'all need to drive to Walgreens or CVS, get some maxi pads, call it a night, man. Y'all be killing me. Because I swear y'all got the time of the month. It's ridiculous, man. But nah, you definitely ain't watching the games because I think you were the one talking about Bertans need more shots. And we're saying now when he's inconsistent, he don't. And honestly, how the NBA works, you only going to get so many shots as a role player anyway. It's just how it goes. Bill's going to get however many shots he's going to get, rightfully so. He's leading the league in scoring. He's that good. Then Russ going to get the next amount of shots if he chooses to. You know what I mean? Because he has the ball in his hands. then it depends on the flow of the game and how the other team is playing those guys that would dictate shots. Yes, Bertans would get a certain amount of shots, but as far as him, I guess being numbered to take what I don't know what y'all expecting, because I think, if we look at his stats, if you give me a second real quick. So we look at his stats with Dave on his Bertans. Let's see. Trying to see how many shot attempts he did a year throughout the season, because I feel like he's getting what is warranted. You know what I mean? So okay, he's getting 8 attempts a game, but 7 of them are threes. One more, I feel like that's what it should be. You know what I mean? I mean, will you want him taking 15 shots and 14 of them being threes? You know what I mean? He's shooting 40%, which is elite for 3, but that's going to be a lot of misses for those shots, man. You know what I mean? And that's taking shots for someone else that could be even more efficient. It just depends on the flow and how the defense is playing and whatnot. You got Neto. Look, he's getting shots. And, you dang sure know Rui got to get shots. You see what I'm saying? Then you got the centers, Gafford, Len, Lopez. They getting shots. And if they got it rolling, they're going to get – Scott Brooks going to draw up their plays for them to get even more shots. It's just predicated on how the game is going, man. So it's hard, but it's hard. But the shots Bertans get, he need to make those. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that is. He made those in that game. He did his job. Can't say nothing wrong. But – yeah, attacking Scott Brooks, saying he need to draw more plays, especially when they win it. That's what I don't understand. Like, the results is ideal. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Yeah, but y'all still want more shots for Bertans. So, nah, I ain't shelling nothing, man. You definitely was watching the box scores, because that's why you harped on he need more shots. Because if you watching the game, you wouldn't have came to the conclusion. The shots he's getting is sufficient enough.
All right. Ray, did you have anything, or you moving on to this?
Just that, we gotta chill out with every time a player has a good 4-minute stretch, people rush to say they need more minutes. Like, it's only so many minutes in the game. So I mean, if every game another player steps up and has a good little run, so every game somebody need more minutes. And like Cardell said, they're 9-1 in their last 10. So I'm going to trust Scott Brooks' delegation of playing time right now, because what more results do you want? Like,
and real quick, here's how you get people when they say that. It's like, man, they should have drafted so-and-so. So, well, here you go. So if Hutchinson is going to get more minutes, that means minutes going to be taken from somewhere else, whose minutes should be diminished. All right, then. Yeah, it won't be a clear answer right now when you think about it. So that's why it doesn't make sense to say those things. He's earned them right. Brooks throwing him out there, giving him some minutes. He's earned it. Like today, he was the first guy off the bench against the Cavaliers. You know what I mean? For his defense and stuff like that. He's being rewarded. Scott's going to reward you if you're doing what you're supposed to do. So that's all you need to do. But, more minutes, I guess, to be heavy in the rotation, that's tough, especially when they win it, because guys been hooping. So that'll be a tough decision.
All right. This one's for you, Ray, from Eric Reeves. If the Wizards were a great three-point shooting team, just think of the damage they can do to teams. They're putting up a lot of points in the paint. If they could up their three-point percentage, we would dominate. The thing that bothered me last night is Bertans gets 80 mil just to shoot. He hasn't hit those open threes. He had some wide open looks and flat out missed. He makes some shots, and the Wizards really keep their foot on the gas. That was so frustrating to see. Come on, Latvian laser. So are you, Ray?
I mean, shoot, if an if was a fifth, we all be drunk. I mean, if every team was a great 3-point shooting team, they'd be doing more damage. We just have to live in reality that the Wizards are not a great 3-point shooting team. They have to stick to what works for their personnel. And yeah, I think we've spoken ad nauseum about Bertans. Yeah, he gets 80 mil to just shoot. And I mean, and he's expected to be able to do that at a high clip. We've seen him perform up to the expectations at times, and we've seen him not perform up to expectations. So yeah, of course, when he's on, it makes things easier for them. But again, at this current time, man, they are winning, and and he definitely needs to do what his specified role is. But yeah, man, it's something we've talked about the entire season. That 80 mil, it should pay for some knockdown shooting from him, and it's been kind of up and down. I think he's averaging out to be a decent shooter this season, but he does go through his slumps, as all people do. But if you're going to be a specialist, man, them slumps got to be far and few between, and not last as long as some of his had. But all in all, yeah, man, it's that's his main role. But yeah, we can't just say if they did this better, they will be damaging teams. We got to deal with what they are doing. They're not just going to magically become the Golden State Warriors, just because it will make things easier for them. That's just not how life works, man. Their bread and butter is getting into the paint, as we've seen. Like during this winning streak, they've been dominating teams in the paint. They need to keep doing that, and and that will open up 3-point shots. And if they get good looks, then go ahead and take them. And when they get them, they got to make them. That's all it is. And even when they were struggling, Scott Brooks will often say, we're not making threes, and teams are packing the paint, and we got to make adjustments to counteract that. So yeah, man, we just got to deal with what they're able to do at the time.
And also the reason why it's such a spotlight on him making his threes, and this is no shot. This is just what it is. He gives you nothing else. That's what specialists are. They specialize in being elite in one area. If they're not elite in that area, why are they out there? You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. Defensively, he's food. I keep saying it. Like, teams pick on him. And it ain't me. The facts are backing it up. Look, 3 rebounds a game, 0.9 assists, 0.3 blocks, 0.6 steals. Look, you just calling it like it ain't a shot at him. Look, if he was missing shots, but he was still getting boards, playing great defense and stuff like that, yeah, it wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't be as glaring. Like, we'd be like, yeah, he was all, but he made an impact to help winning. But right now, his role is to keep the floor spread so Bill and Russ and those guys can do what they do, have one-on-one matchups, because you can't leave them. You feel what I'm saying? So if he's not hitting shots, it's going to shrink the floor. Because, like, this dude is off. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go focus on Bill and Russ, make their life hard, because I know they can get theirs. And if I could bother them, it's going to affect the overall team and gives us a better chance to win. It's really just common sense. So that's why if he can't do his main job, it's such a big deal.
Yeah, and I would also just throw in a little bit right there. Like, that's just one of the parts that comes with it, right? It's like anybody else. With Russ, the type of all-encompassing impact that he has on a game. The problem is with him, you don't see him. It's rare that he doesn't have that same impact all the time. So, like, the one thing, because of everything that he does, the only one thing you can really point to, and again, we've never really harped on the shooting thing, because with everything that he does, nobody really cares that much. The turnovers is more of an issue than the inefficient shooting at times. Cool. So, but again, he brings so many different. He covers so many areas with his impact. Yeah, when you have somebody who's a little bit more limited, that just is what it is, man. It's kind of like, what's it called, like in baseball, where you got your DH. They're a designated hitter. When they not doing that, man, it's rough for them. They don't get an opportunity to do anything else but that. It is what it is. All right, last but not least, to close this out from Jonathan Meeks. Does this feel like a revamp of the OKC Thunder with a learning curve? Is Bill KD? You guys should do a video drawing the parallels, major differences. This is all you guys.
Lord Jesus. No, man. Oh, Lord Jesus. See? Y'all see? See? But if we go off, we being mean, and then we talking down to y'all, no, man. Look, man. It's only one Kevin Durant, man. I love Bill. Bill, dog, special play in his own right. But there's only one Kevin Durant. It's only one 6'11" 2 guard that's 50, 40, 90, can guard all 5 positions, pass, do everything on the floor. There's only one of those dudes, man. Like, He's like the only dude in the league. I'm gonna be real. Probably that ain't no problem. He could give you 30, only need 15 shots. Do you understand what I'm saying? He can give you 30, but only need 15 shots because he making 10 of them. A few of those gonna be threes, and the rest gonna be from the free throw line because you can't guard them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, look, man. No, it's far from OKC, and it ain't even just about the stars. Russ are obviously comparing to Russ and OKC, or Bill comparing to KD. They had Harden. There is no Harden, anything close to Harden on the Washington roster. They had Ibaka. Fine, you could say, I guess Gafford plays that role. They had Steven Adams. They don't have a Steven Adams on that team. They don't have
Uncle Jeff.
Jeff Green. Yeah, he was here a couple years ago, but he ain't here no more. They don't have the mob that lost to the finals, man. That was a special team, man. You got to think about it. That team had 3 MVPs on it at one time. This roster don't have one. So Russ was a former one, but don't have one that has won one with this franchise, with this team playing on the roster right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, play that has won one in a Washington uniform. They don't have that. So no, man, y'all, like chill. Don't do that, man. Y'all. Woo. See, if we said this is what you call a hot take, and it would be a barrage of comments coming our way. Like, what the y'all talking?
We'd have to take all that too.
Yeah.
I'll be real honest. I deserve everything if I said
yeah.
Stuff. But man, look, the Wizards are doing well, and that's great. Nah, leave that alone. That's a different type of firepower. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to anything here. That's some. Again, we're talking about a team when we look back that had 3 freaking MVPs on it. Like, let's just, let's leave that alone a little bit right now. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's fine. And I get the excitement. It's great. Hopefully Washington continues to handle business tomorrow. I feel like that's a great way to end for Ray, Cardell.
Oh, yeah. And they had Reggie Jackson, who's starting for the Clippers. No, man. No. My bad. I had to just look at that.
No, you good. One of those teams.
Derek Fisher, former 5-time champion, was on that team too. Derek Fisher.
Cephalosha was around there too, right?
Cephalosha,
Oh yeah.
Nick Collison, yeah. Nick Collison. Yeah. Eric Maynard. Kirk was on that team. Nah, player.
For the most part, like their like 8-man rotation is still floating around this league right now. So yeah, and it's not a knock on this group right now. This is simply just like, and that's why the response is so like that, because again, we're talking about a team that had an abundance of riches from a talent standpoint. And again, it's not knocking anything that Washington's doing right now, but we know this roster does not have an abundance of riches. So that's all.
Don't let it fool you. Like, they beating up on a bunch of lottery teams. They doing what they supposed to, but they don't let it fool you. Because if they was playing Nets and Philly every night, it won't be like this.
I'm saying, like, they're like, even like right now, like whatever they're trying to do with this group around Russ and Brad, they still got a long way to go to fully get to kind of fine tune this roster perfectly around them. They're not even there to be the best version of this iteration of the Wizards with the engine being Brad and Russ.
And think about it. And think about it. Russ just got here. This is his first year. He ain't even played a full season here. And think about it. They clicking and don't even have Thomas with them or Denny. They don't even have their full roster. Like, it's still things that they got to figure out moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So no, man. Like, to throw that out there with a team that was on the verge of winning the championship is just relax, man. See what being a fanatic does. You see, and that's all based because Russ played for the team. There's nothing else that connects this Wizards team to that but Russ.
Like,
and Scott Brooks.
We got to stop there right there. That's a whole 7-foot my player. There's nothing like that over here, man. Like, let's leave that alone. Again, like, that is cool and that's great. Like, I guess what you can take away from that is that, Scott was around that. Maybe it'll help as they try to fine tune this iteration of the Wizards, because there's going to be some breadcrumbs you can tie here and there, but literally it's just crumbs. Because like that group there's going to be 30 for like multiple 30 for 30s done on what happened to that group and why they didn't do what they were supposed to do. This ain't that. So, and this is me being as respectful as possible. Like, what? You know how cold you got to be that the band break up and 3 soloists all go platinum?
Right.
Like,
And I threw Derek Fisher's name out there because, like I said, he's a 5-time champion. Let me look on the Wizards. Ain't nobody won them. Who won the ring on the Wizards? Outside probably Scott Brooks with Houston.
that was yeah.
Scott Brooks was on them teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so who won the championship? But you got to do a 5-time champ just on your roster, backing you up, giving you game, help you, speed up the learning curve and stuff like that. Because you got to understand, KD and those guys, this was before their prime. They were emerging into superstars, and then they eventually became that very quickly. But no, man, like
they
chill
were
with
babies.
that.
Yeah, they were babies.
Chill with that.
Like this is
James Harden was 6 man.
Prime. Yeah. This is folks literally in their prime right now, and someone on the other, you know what I'm saying, on the people in their prime. And none of those guys were. It's the best way I can say it. Thank y'all for tuning in as always. Appreciate you guys. We'll definitely talk to you guys tomorrow because the Wizards got a back-to-back. They're taking on, Luka and them are going to be here. So that's going to be fun. The Mavs are, Cardell already laid that out. He likes seeing the Wizards. The Mavs are annoying as is. And again, we just told you guys what lies ahead in May. Washington got to, you got to win more than you lose this month. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they're being chased right now, technically, right? Because you're running out of time. They're being chased by time because there's not that much time left. Getting down to the end of the season, and due to whatever's happened this year, these are the cards that are dealt. It's on them to make the most of it, and that's finishing strong. So April went good. Now it's about handling business in May. We'll see how that goes. It starts tomorrow. For Cardell, Raymond, and Wilson, we will see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for hanging out with us on Wizards Outlook.